Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Chandler, or the Geek Plays.
Hey
Welcome back
guys.
to Sports at Sunup. Sasquatch, whatever the fuck.
Green citrus tea and ultra blue 0 calorie 0 sugar monster
Well, I don't. It's been on my desk for like 3 months, but I come on.
sponsor.
No, fuck that.
The
Actually,
only
wait.
people I
This
want
channel's different.
sponsoring me is Jack Link's beef jerky.
Well, I know you want that. This is a different channel. We don't have to be a G Fuel channel here. This channel can be whatever. Yo, Starbucks, sponsor me.
Your camera's lagging a little bit there, geek.
Oh, really? That
Yeah, you're all robotic-y.
that might just be on your end.
Oh,
On
very
my
weird.
end, it looks fine. But all right, we got some news. We'll save the WWE stuff for just a little bit. Start with the newest news. Bengals running back Joe Mixon prepared to hold. Did he not see how that worked out for Melvin Ingram?
Right.
Like, it worked for Zeke, but that's it. That's because Jerry Jones is.
Here's my input on it, because as I said like last week, I don't know why, but my two teams are the Cowboys and the Bengals.
So you pick one of the
If
more well-run teams and literally the worst. I think the Bengals are worse.
I just have an
than the
NFC
Browns.
and AFC team. Now, obviously, the Bengals have been trash for a minute.
For longer than
Um,
both of us have been alive.
Well, they had that one playoff game about 5 or 6 years ago, and they lost because
That
Andy Dalton
doesn't.
choked. But anyway,
Don't you blame Andy Dalton. How about you blame the shittiest coach that had a job for?
Oh, Marvin Lewis, I know.
Do not blame Andy Dalton. The Red
But
Rocket is here to stay.
here's
Okay?
here's my input. Is Joe Mixon a good running back? Yes. But, and this may not all be entirely his fault, and in all honesty, it isn't. He hasn't really done a whole lot.
No, and he's not.
And wasn't he, and this is going to sound like weird, but wasn't he either injured or even, he may have even been suspended
Probably.
like his first season? So, I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand. If he had put up some better numbers, I'd get it. But I mean, he just hasn't produced.
And this is the Bengals. They're not going to trade you. Bengals don't do trades. So you're probably just going to sit until your contract.
Yeah, you're going to free agency.
Like, or they might cut you, but I don't know. It's the Bungles.
Yeah.
Then, oh god, shit, just around. Okay. Then Jared Goff is open to restructuring his contract, create some cap space. Bro, you don't say that. You just got the bag a year ago. You don't admit that fuck this was a mistake. I'll give you back some money. Let's redo that. Don't admit that.
Let's get some better players in here.
That's what he's saying. He's like, I'm fucked, man. I need some teammates.
I mean, and you gotta think about. I mean, he just lost Todd Gurley, and he lost Brandon Cooks. Granted, we had the Brandon Cooks discussion, but still, you also lose Todd Gurley.
Todd Gurley didn't put up numbers last year.
I know, but who else is on the Rams? you know.
Yeah, that team does not look the same as it did when it.
2 years ago. I mean,
Back to
I
the
don't know what
Bengals.
happened.
If the Bengals actually are dumb enough to cut Andy Dalton, it's gonna be a Patriot. Patriots are gonna. Andy
I like it.
Dalton's
I
gonna
like
red
Andy
rocket
Dalton.
fucking.
Andy Dalton is a good quarterback, regardless of what anybody says.
Then apparently the Buccaneers are looking to trade OJ Howard. It came out from the Athletic 2 hours prior to reporting.
Wonder for what though?
Draft picks, I guess. Offensive line, and you could go get
Offensive
a
line
receiver
and...
or you could go. Oh my God! Trade them so they can get offensive line, and in the second, third, fourth round, whatever, going late. What's his name? What is his first name? Randy Moss's son, the tight end.
Oh, from Georgia, right? Is it Georgia
no.
or is it Bama?
Fucking hold on.
They were in the playoffs.
Were they? LSU.
Yeah, LSU. Yes.
See, it's
I'm dumb.
a
I'm dumb too.
it's a Brady.
You know,
Moss.
I don't know. I never even thought about him. I never even thought about him declaring or anything.
He's projected to go.
Yeah,
because he's more of a blocking tight end. But I just see this whole fucking thing where it's like the Bucs just go, we don't need OJ Howard. We got Cameron Brate.
He is a blocking tight end,
and then we can go get Moss so you can hear Brady throws deep to Moss. Oh fuck!
You have to admit though, he came up pretty clutch in those moments in the national championship.
Oh.
Especially in that OU domination.
I'm not gonna show them because you see the Browns changed their uniform.
I did not.
They're just back to what they were like.
Really? Gotcha.
So their full list. So
I got him up right here.
Actually, no, we're not. Well, do you want to do the Odell story last or right?
I'll let you do that one because I haven't heard about it.
Well, I know you'll have some opinions.
Oh yeah,
I have opinions, but
let's talk about it.
All right, so it was reported today by some fucking guy. That's a good start. By Moose, co-host of Moose and Maggie on WFan Radio from some fucking place. He's verified on Twitter, real person. He's reported some stuff before. Reported that the Browns and Vikings are in discussions on a trade that would send OBJ to the Vikings for a second-round pick and a fifth-round pick next year. Not picks this year, picks next year. First of all, if you're the Vikings, you pull the trigger on that fucking trade right now. The Browns gave up Jabril Peppers a first, a third, and a fifth to get OBJ. If they're saying a 2 and a 5, you do it.
How does that work out in any way for
Dude, we don't ask questions. It's the Browns.
You're a Minnesota fan. I'm not. I'm not a Browns fan either.
No, I'm just saying, think about it. It's what the Browns do. They're the Browns.
Well, I know, but
they just fucking do dumb shit. Because Odell, it seems like, doesn't want to be there. You don't want the diva scenario.
Did you ever see that movie Draft Day about the Browns?
No, I didn't.
Well, there's in the movie Draft Day, it's about the Browns. It's about the main character. The main guy is the general manager for the Browns, and it's leading up to the draft. And it's actually kind of the same situation as this year. There's a top quarterback out there, and the Browns have the first pick, and like everybody always got to go get this guy, and it's all about this and that, and it ends up like, I can't remember exactly how it ends up, but he ends up trading like, he finds out that this guy's not really worth a whole lot. He's not the quarterback that they need. But he's afraid he's going to get like crucified for this decision. And he ends up talking to the owner of the Seahawks, who's like the antagonist of the movie, I guess you could say. And he's like, I'm going to give you this trade, and this trade, and all that kind of stuff. And then he's like, because he traded up to move up to go and get, because he gave away his picks to the Seahawks and thinking the Seahawks were going to get the pick. And so they gave him like the Browns had like the first, the fifth, and whatever, and they give the Seahawks the fifth, and then they go and they don't get the quarterback in the first pick. Then he goes and trades up to a higher pick. He's like, I'm gonna get this guy unless you give me all your picks back, and I want these two players from your team on my team, and then you can have this quarterback. And I'm like, that's what I know. It's a weird fucking thing. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna go and give all these fucking picks back. They're like, all right, I want those back, and you can have this guy.
But it's picks for next year too. That's the weirdest part. So if you're the Vikings, you gotta pull that.
Oh, you pull the trigger, yeah.
Because
you
if
can't
Odell
not.
doesn't work out after a year, you know how easy it's gonna be to get a 2 and a 5. Like fucking whatever.
Yeah.
And think about how that frees you up too. You do not have to draft a wide receiver at all. You can go O-line and defensive backs and linebackers the entire draft. You went way out of focus there. Holy fuck.
That was weird.
Every time you lean back, you go out of focus. Yep. No,
it wanted to. It
tried.
wanted to.
It tried.
It thought about it.
It was like, wait, they're talking about me. But I mean, I don't get it for the.
Yeah, I don't get why the Brown. I don't. If it's true, I don't understand.
I get wanting to trade OBJ. Talking about it, OBJ didn't seem happy there. And young quarterback, and like the way the new GM wants to run things is like, guys like Austin Hooper, really hardworking guys, not these big celebrity guys. OBJ doesn't like the small market. I mean, Minnesota's still a small market, but it's not as small of a market. Like, it's probably top 10, top 15 markets. It's not New York, it's not LA, but it's up there. Mm-hmm. So, and it's one of those places where he's not going to be able to go and just get away with everything. Mm-hmm. Like, it's hard for the Browns to have Freddie Kitchens tell Odell he can't do something. Because Odell's like, what the fuck have you done? What do you know?
Well, I think that could play a big part in whether or not OBJ stays or not, is because now that Freddie Kitchens gone. Yeah,
but still, Kevin Stefanski, it's one of those, I've done more than you. Where when he goes to Minnesota, who's the two guys who are going to be saying something to him? Mike Zimmer and Gary Kubiak. Gary Kubiak tells you to jump, you say how high. Yeah. Like, that's what you do. And I think Odell will handle that structure better. Because did he play under Tom Coughlin?
Who, OBJ?
Yeah.
Yes. I think it was his rookie year when he wasn't. I think it was his rookie year
when all he did was play
Tom
really
went to Carolina or whatever. Was it Carolina that Tom went to?
Jacksonville.
I knew it was one of the Cats.
But he, like, if he played under Tom Coughlin's a no-nonsense motherfucker. Like, he just tells you this is how it's going to be. And his rookie year, did anyone think Odell was a diva? No. He was just the kid with the hair and the hands. He was that kid with the hair and the hands. He needs a coach who will tell him to sit down and shut up. And a coach that he respects for saying that. Freddie Kitchens can't tell anybody anything. Because a rookie has accomplished more than Freddie Kitchens.
Head back to New York, Odell. You got Jason Garrett there now.
No. He can come to Minnesota, though. We'll replace Diggs with a better version of Diggs. Like, they're the same fucking receiver. Just Odell is better than Diggs. They do the same thing. All right. I think that's enough of me screaming over how cool. Let's get into the WWE releasing half of its roster.
Long list. Got it pulled up. Sure. You ready?
Oh, I have a list also.
Carl Anderson.
Luke
Gallows. The Bullet Club.
The
club is disbanded. It's no more.
Well, I mean, Finn Balor and AJ are still there. So, like, the people who actually matter in the club are
you know
still
what?
there.
I like Carl and Luke.
Didn't say I didn't, but...
Drake Maverick.
Yeah, I don't give a...
Braun Strowman's buddy. and you fucking release him.
Yeah, duh.
Kurt Hawkins, I saw that coming.
He has not won a
I'm so.
match in
Oh,
WWE.
he won one. He won it because he won the tag team championships like a month ago.
Oh, I have not watched.
Heath Slater, you
He's got
release
kids,
the man who
man.
has kids.
He's got kids.
EC3,
EC3.
Eric
Whatever.
Young, Leo Rush. He was good.
No, he
Billy
wasn't. He was
Billy
okay on the
Kidman. Was Billy Kidman? Wasn't he the trainer?
Probably.
Mike Rotunda. I've heard the name.
Don't really know.
Pat Buck. Like I said, and again, some of these guys are backstage, like producers and stuff like that too. So we got to think of that. We're not going to really know some of them. Finley, obviously, we all know Finley. He's been working backstage for the last 10, 15 years though. So, Sean Devari, Scott Armstrong, I've heard the name. Sarah Stock, have no idea. Shane Helms, the Hurricane. Lance Storm. Oh, I figured. Kurt Angle. Let's see. Aiden English. Sarah Logan. Mike Chioda. Mike and Maria Kanellis. Primo Epico. Eric Rowan. We're never gonna fucking know what was in that cage.
Oh fuck! Forgot about that.
Never gonna know. Zack Ryder.
Who?
I'm kind of upset. I know he hasn't been like doing stuff like the last like few months.
Dude,
I think
when I
he's been
started
injured.
watching WWE, whatever, 2015, when he won the IC title.
Mm-hmm.
So one of my first memories of actually paying attention to WWE is just woo woo woo.
Here's the thing is like, you have Zack Ryder, and I still don't understand it, but whatever. You get Rob fucking Gronkowski to sign a contract with the WWE because of Zack Ryder, and then you go and let go Zack Ryder, who is actually
Mojo Rawley and Rob Gronkowski. That could have been a fun thing. Then we got No Way Jose. He's out of there.
I thought he's been gone for a little bit.
No, they just don't use him. They have too much talent on them. That's what part of this is. It's not just a coveted thing. Yeah. It is we have too much.
Rusev. Another Rusev.
Yeah, we can't miss Rusev.
It's the end of Rusev Day.
No, there will never be an end of Rusev Day.
Some NXT people: MJ Jenkins, Jerry Soto, who is a Spanish announcer, Josiah Williams, Alexander Joksic.
And we're probably gonna hear of more throughout the night, as of right now. Rough. Yeah. Sucks.
There's a couple of them that are definitely gonna be missed.
Oh wow. Rusev's tweet. Just thank you all. Rusev out.
Rusev out. I know you said I don't think he had wrestled yet, or at least he'd wrestled minimum, but the Drake Maverick, apparently the dude was actually a really good wrestler, and he was about to do some. They were doing some cruiserweight tournament, and he was set to be in it. Apparently he's really freaking good. So that's kind of a loss in my eyes. But
I don't know. I think things have been downhill for the WWE since they lost Dean. Big Dean Ambrose guy. I don't know why, but Lunatic Fringe was the guy.
Well, apparently 5 days ago they released the Revival, which I hadn't seen them in a minute, but still.
Wild time for the WWE.
They're just like I said in your
for Vince McMahon lately.
Like I said in your stream, WWE is dying a slow, painful, agonizing, dreadful death. I mean, what is it doing? Because it certainly isn't growing. It's dying. When was the last? You tell me. When was the last time you actually sat down and watched a show, excluding pay-per-views?
I don't know.
Exactly.
But that's the thing, though.
Exactly.
Well, you're not thinking about it. What Monday do I have time to watch WWE? I am never going to choose WWE over Monday. During football season, I don't even choose pay-per-views.
Football's been done since January, fam.
I know. Then it was
WWE
basketball.
was still going on.
I'm not watching the WWE with no fans. Fucking, I don't appreciate.
Still had fans in February and March, early March.
Basketball.
Basketball was disbanded too. You're telling me you're gonna watch every Monday night game?
I watch a lot of it.
Every Monday night game though?
Every game? No, because you can't. I can't put on. I have one TV right here. How many games can I put on this one?
Just saying.
That does just because I'm not watching them anymore.
Because that's me too.
Anything. It.
And according to the fans, when they were still allowed, other than the pay-per-views, it's the majority of them too, because they don't like the way Vince is handling things. They continuously push guys that have been pushed 10 times in the last year. I mean, look, like you said so yourself, look at all those people on there. All the people they released that were wrestlers. Of the 10 or 15 that we saw, I know 10 of those guys who were so fucking talented who are just gone now because of that. Because they didn't push them. They continuously push guys like Roman Reigns. And they continuously bring back guys like Goldberg.
See, Goldberg, Lesnar,
crucify me for
Undertaker,
saying this. I'm a huge fucking fan. But why is the Undertaker keep coming back and stealing these big shows? I love the Undertaker
should be out after the Roman match. But like the only one of those guys
and Lesnar
should be getting title pushes a lot is Roman. And that is because he's the face of your company. He has to be there. He has to be your top guy. But why is Lesnar holding the title all year long, every year, and showing up for 6 pay-per-views? If Roman has that title, when Roman has the title, as much as you hate it, because I've seen enough of Roman, at least he's out there every Monday night or Friday night actually working. He's at every pay-per-view actually working.
And you gotta look at guys like... And you gotta look at the guys that have left that weren't even released. They just straight up left because of shit like that. Dean Ambrose.
Matt Hardy.
Matt Hardy just recently left because he was promised creative control of his deal. And they would not let him.
I don't like that Matt Hardy is on AEW now and Jeff Hardy's doesn't feel right.
It doesn't feel right, but at the same time,
Jeff's the better singles wrestler to the WWE.
I'm hoping and I know we're talking about old guys and how they're, you know what I'm saying, but
the Hardy
out
boys
of all of them,
different than any
Jeff is different. Jeff doesn't count, and neither does Matt, because they just came back after being away for 10 years.
Jeff is one of the most fun wrestlers to watch.
Exactly, and he still
is. Because what's he gonna do? You never know. What's he climbing?
Exactly.
Because he's yeeting himself off something.
Mm-hmm. You know, but and back again, you know, like some of these guys are leaving because they keep giving guys like Brock Lesnar the title for a fucking year. Or they keep bringing guys like, what business did Goldberg have coming back and beating the Fiend for that title?
Because
just to set up a match for the Fiend and John Cena?
No, just to set up a match. See, I think the Fiend and John Cena should have been a title match.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Should have been a title match.
Like, what business did Goldberg have winning the fucking title?
Sorry, I think this would have been a more fun thing. Let John Cena beat the Fiend for the title. Let him break the record for most World Heavyweight Championships held by one guy. Right? Put him at the top of the list. And then we get an actual Roman Reigns John Cena feud.
Yeah.
Where we put John Cena away, get him out of WWE, and you get the actual official final passing of the torch, like I was the face of WWE. It's your turn. Go rule the world. But WWE is afraid to bury Cena. two, they're afraid to put Roman actually on top and keep.
Because they've done it and nobody liked
They've
it.
never kept him there. Everybody just gets pissed that he gets a shot. Because I don't know why people don't like Roman other than the fact that he gets a shot.
Do you want to know why nobody likes Roman? It took me a long time. Okay.
I'm a big Roman Reigns guy, so.
This is why nobody likes Roman. It took me a long time to like really admit that this is the reason why. So I can't remember the exact statement that was made, but when the whole thing was going on, when Roman first started getting that big singles competitor push, when he was fighting for that championship every pay-per-view and then he would lose. On Stone Cold Steve Austin's podcast, I cannot for the life of me remember who he was interviewing, but he said something along the lines of that they're trying to push, they're pushing Roman too much to the point that it's going to make, they're pushing Roman to the point that it's going to be just become too common, and they're going to make him, they're not going to make him good. It's just going to be a shit show in the end. I think that set off, for whatever reason, in people's head that they don't want to see Roman leave because they've used him in such a shitty way so much that they started booing him to turn him into the heel that he ended up turning into for just a short amount of time anyway. And
well, he never really turned.
That's what I'm saying. He never really turned heel. It was kind of like, but that's the reason nobody likes Roman, is because they don't want to see him go down that path to where he sees that he's not being used correctly. Because at the time he wasn't. How are you going to let a guy go out there for like 6 to 7 pay-per-views in a row, lose to Brock Lesnar every
6 to 7
fucking time?
See, that's not when it started though. People have been booing him forever. Like
not when they. I mean, not even when they were the Shield. The Shield was like the biggest heel.
They didn't boo the Shield, but the Shield wasn't heel either. They were totally baby faces.
I mean,
they were totally baby faces.
I don't know if honestly, I don't know if you could call them either of them.
They were dicks, but they were
kind of their own
dicks.
thing. I don't know.
They kind of just were like, "Wow, you're being a dick to everyone. We're gonna murder you." So it was like heel in that sense, as it wasn't we're just gonna stop you. It's we're going to literally break your bone. But we stopped. So good guys.
But that's the reason nobody likes Roman, in my opinion, is because of that Stone Cold podcast.
I think it's just because they used him. I'm sorry, if when he won that first Royal Rumble, got his first WrestleMania, if he wins the title and doesn't lose it 3 weeks later, people don't hate him. Because the thing is they push him so hard, get him the title, he'd hold it for a month or two, lose it, and then in 2 months, push for the title, lose a pay-per-view, lose a pay-per-view, lose a pay-per-view, win the title, lose it. Mm-hmm. It's the same reason everybody hated Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
Because they'd push and then they'd like try to pull her back. They wouldn't just push her all the way. I think Roman needs to redo his character.
Honestly, I think the women's division is a little bit different though.
Well, I'm just saying it's the same type of...
Yeah.
But, well, the women's division was fucked because Charlotte versus Sasha for 2 years.
You had Charlotte never fucking losing.
Well, she lost every other pay-per-view to Sasha. But she'd just go get it back. They changed the title 7 times in 7 pay-per-views. It was just like, here, Charlotte, you take it. Oh, here, Sasha, you can have it back. Oh, no, Charlotte, you take... That's how it was for 7 fucking months.
Yeah.
Like, that's the WWE creative team right now. I hate to say this, but the coolest WWE match we've gotten in, like, 5 years was this year. The AJ Styles versus Undertaker match was the best thing WWE has done in, like, 5 years.
Yeah.
That sucks. Because Undertaker should be retired. And AJ is like 40 at this point.
Obviously, I know it wasn't like a regular match, but you can tell Undertaker was working pretty fucking hard to get to what he somewhat used to be. Like
Oh yeah,
if he wanted to,
I loved that match.
I wouldn't be mad if he came back and wrestled like now, because he's still putting in the work and he's getting like back to
There
kind of
for
what
a
he used to
while though, he
be.
wasn't.
But like the John Cena match especially,
Oh my god, that match was dumb.
that was okay.
That
I will
whole lead up was dumb.
I will always say this. Fuck Roman Reigns, fuck
Whoa.
Brock Lesnar, fuck all those guys.
Oh.
The match that should have made Undertaker retire and his last match should have been that John Cena match, and it should have been 5 years fucking prior. If anybody other than Roman Reigns, I'll say that myself. If anybody other than Roman Reigns was going to be the first person to end the streak, it should have been Roman or John Cena, and it should have been that match that ended his career.
But I just think the way the Roman match, it just fit so perfectly.
Yeah.
Because it was one of those things where the fight itself it's almost like you can see the script. You know, Roman hits him with a spear, and the Undertaker doesn't sit right up like he used to. But he slowly crawls up, and Roman hits him with a spear again, and he's slowly trying to get up. And Roman's just like, please stop it. It's like the whole thing of Undertaker just trying to hold on to what's left of his career. And
you talked about, Roman and the John Cena match kind of being the passing of the torch. I mean, if you really think about it, had they kept Taker retired, that's the passing of the torch.
For sure.
Because of how not after the match, Roman gets out, he leaves the ring.
He just won the match. He didn't really celebrate.
He left because it was under everybody's impression, this is Taker's moment. He's done.
Roman won, but this was Taker's time. And you see Taker.
He takes it off, folds it up, leaves everything in the middle of the ring. And it stays there after the show. There are pictures of it while everybody is taking things down. It is still in the ring.
The 30-minute walk back up the ramp because that ramp was half a mile long.
And then he only goes halfway and he just goes back down.
Yeah. I loved that because of how slow Undertaker's entrance was. Halfway through the ramp entrance.
He would have never made it.
It would have been an hour-long entrance. Would have been kind of great though, but no, that's how it like that part, and just the match itself felt like this should be it. Like you could see Taker it was the grasping at everything he could to stay as the guy.
Did you ever watch Stone Cold's podcast with Vince?
No.
They taught Stone Cold he blatantly asked him. He's like, "Let's talk about the Undertaker Brock match, the end of the streak. Who made that decision?" And Vince said, "Taker did, because for the sake of the company." And Stone Cold blatantly called him out. He's like, "No, he fucking didn't. You're gonna sit there and tell me."
Now, could Taker have said, "This is the Mania I want to end the streak at"?
Oh, for sure.
But I bet $1 billion he did not say to Brock Lesnar.
And Stone Cold basically got it out of Vince to say that Vince is the one that made that decision. It could have been anybody.
It could have been anybody else.
I wouldn't have give a fuck who it was.
Roman, John Cena, fucking Bray Wyatt, just let the other horror guy do it.
Dude,
whatever.
And that was one of my favorite matches too. I fucking love that Undertaker Bray Wyatt fight. That's honestly still one of my favorite. I mean, it was with the character Bray had then being the actual Bray Wyatt we all know. That was just such a perfectly set up match. I love that match.
The Fiend with the Firefly Fun. Let's go ahead and retry that.
Firefly Funhouse.
You couldn't say it either.
Firefly Funhouse.
Firefly Funhouse.
But no, but you let somebody who I guarantee you because that was the year. I think that was only like the second year or something Brock had came back, if I'm not mistaken, because he came back in like what 16 or something, like 15 or 16,
I don't know.
something like that. And it wasn't that. It was like the second Mania he was coming back. I guarantee you, because Brock was already getting ready to go back to the UFC. I guarantee you that Brock was like, "You're going to let me beat Taker at Mania, or I'm leaving." And at the time, that still is Vince's moneymaker, so to say, especially at the time.
Because even now, even though everybody bitches about Brock Lesnar, anytime Brock Lesnar's on the show, everybody tunes in.
Oh yeah,
I
sure.
don't, because if I'm not, like, there'll be times, even now, where, like, just randomly I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna get caught up on the WWE, then I just watch it consistently for a couple months, and then I just let it go. But I go out of my way to avoid Brock Lesnar, because I hate him.
Yeah,
he can't cut a promo because he never has. He has to have Paul Heyman do it.
I'm not a fan whatsoever.
His one thing is that he's supposed to be bigger and stronger than everybody. Not.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. Like, I don't care. Let Brock go.
Mm-hmm.
Let him go.
He can't. Well, the thing is, he can't even go back to the UFC. From my understanding, I don't think he can, because if I think if I'm not mistaken, his last fight he tested positive after the fight.
He can go back, I think, now. He's really close to when his suspension was. If he fails another drug test.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I don't know that. Out of everybody, it shouldn't have been him to end the fight. Give it to somebody more deserving, such as give it to another guy who is close to his career. You look at what you did with the Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair match.
Yeah.
Who else is ending
the...
Flair's career other than Shawn Michaels? I don't even think Triple H could have done it. Batista? No. Randy Orton? No. Who else but Shawn Michaels?
Randy Orton doesn't end careers like that. He ends legends. Difference. Randy Orton beats a guy at the end, like, who's nearing the end of their career, to end this guy's a legend status. Now he's just really good pro, but he's not the guy you feel. Like, if Cena were getting ready to call it quits, who beats him? Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Not the final match. The final match has to be somebody different.
The match kind of leading up to
what was it, like 2 pay-per-views before that, I think Randy beat Ric Flair at one.
Yeah.
He ended the legend. But he didn't end the career. He just ended the legend. I mean, Randy Orton literally is called
the Legend Killer. Yeah.
And
then you have, like, the next WrestleMania. Shawn Michaels' career ended by The Undertaker. Who better to end that? Triple H wasn't fighting anymore at the time. Who else? The final 3 was Triple H, Undertaker, and Shawn Michaels. I mean, literally, from the pinnacle of the Attitude Era.
There were only 2 guys who could put.
Those were the last 3.
Who should have beat the streak and just put the Undertaker away totally.
Cena and Roman.
Yep. I don't care which one you choose. I really don't. Pick one of those guys.
Yeah.
Because WWE fan's gonna hate that. They're gonna be like, it sucks, the streak's over, but they passed it to the guy.
Because what's crazy?
Face end it.
Because if I'm not mistaken, other than maybe something like the Rumble or something, John Cena's, I think, opening fight for the WWE was against Taker, if I'm not mistaken.
Kurt Angle.
It was Kurt Angle.
Yeah, because remember, Kurt Angle was that. I loved that. Because somebody come out here and face me, and it's Cena wearing the shorts things, and he walks out. And, oh, what's your name, kid? John Cena.
Yeah.
Oh,
anyway,
what do you do? Or what? Angle says something, and John's response is ruthless aggression. Greatest thing ever.
But the reason, like, that was, like, one of the most sought out matches, like, and because, like, they had only fought one time before that fight.
I actually don't think it was a pay-per-view.
It may not have been. It may have been a house show for all I know.
Right.
But they hadn't fought since then.
No.
And like that was kind of like one of those things. Like, can you imagine even forget the whole Brock Lesnar thing? If Taker is in the shape that he was then, or even the shape that he was in this AJ Styles match, can you imagine how good that match would have been? You could tell that
with
match,
Undertaker still having the WrestleMania streak,
and I think
and not a
that
full
match
match, not the
was.
squash that they did on.
I think that match was meant to go longer, but I think there is communication between the two that I can't go anymore. Like I can't. And obviously, I don't give a fuck if you're the owner of the damn company or not. Are you really gonna get pissed off at the Undertaker, a 50-year-old fucking man, saying, "Okay, no, I can't do this anymore. I got to stop." Are you really gonna get mad at him?
See, I hate this, but I don't want it to be AJ, but with the performance Taker put on, that should be his last. Should be. End
I
it
don't
with
know.
one of your top. It's got to be top 15 performances.
If
That match was
they
fire.
let him fight again, it has to be. I mean, I can't say it has to be because obviously it's always going to be Taker's choice whether he comes back or not. You have to make it. You have to sit down with Taker and be like, okay, is this your last one? Yes. Okay. Who do you want to go against for your last match?
I guess at this point you have to ask.
It has to be that way. Because if you go and you put him up against somebody who's really not worth a damn, I mean, what is that setting for Taker's legacy? Taker has a legacy in itself already, but you don't want the legacy that he already has to be, I guess, tarnished. I don't know if you could even use that fucking word because of a shitty last match, regardless if he wins it or not.
That's why I loved the Roman match so much. Is you could tell Taker, his body was done.
Oh,
But
and they set that match up so fucking perfectly with the Royal Rumble too.
with all of it, dude,
Like,
all the promos, you know, the beginning of the "This is my yard," it was so good. That entire storyline was
yeah,
so good, and I knew going into it because I had on my, I think it was my, we talked about. I said Taker's last match. Roman, it's gonna go long, and Roman's gonna win. Roman's gonna walk out, and Taker's gonna do something in the middle of the ring, and it's done. And we'll never see Taker again. I was wrong, but it should have been.
it should have been.
The pictures from after that Mania of Roman sitting in the back, crying because he just put his hero away.
Yeah,
Like,
and if you don't have the streak end to Brock Lesnar, I'm 100% guarantee that's Taker's last match.
see, if the streak ends there,
He's like, what?
it ends the same way. Roman's still in the back crying, like, cool, I beat the streak, I get that title, but I just play my hero.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's fucking Taker. Like, everybody dreams of a match with Taker at WrestleMania. Even though they knew they were going to lose it.
Here's the thing that could have made that more perfect, though. Because they tried to continue the whole Romans, this is my yard thing after that, which didn't succeed. It didn't.
They're still doing the my yard.
If you have Roman be the one who ends the streak, I think that is a much more powerful.
Yeah, then when he says this is my yard,
Yeah,
yes, it is. You
Because
ended the streak.
At that point, it's like, oh, yeah, this is my yard. Well, okay, Brock ended it. Brock ended the streak.
And if Roman's the one who ends the streak, then at, what was it, SummerSlam, the first time he refaced Brock and lost the title and then fought him every pay-per-view until Mania. But then at SummerSlam, Roman doesn't lose to Brock.
Mm-hmm.
Roman gets put over, and it's his yard, get the championship, and we get an actual run where people don't hate Roman. Because I don't think they would have. They would have been like, okay, he got a huge, he's still main evented WrestleMania, which is everyone's complaint. Why does he always get a main event WrestleMania? Well, he's the biggest name on their fucking card. He really is. He is Like, there's nobody who outworks him, nobody who's a better wrestler than him. People are better at promos, sure. But Roman is the guy. Love it or
Yeah.
hate it, he's the guy. So he's going to main event WrestleMania till the end of time.
And
but
also,
if they handled it better every time they did it, don't let him win a Royal. People don't want to see that again. He's done it twice. Like,
yeah.
I like having him in the last 3 because it sets the fans up like, fuck, we're going to get Roman again. It's going to be fucking Roman again. And then when Drew McIntyre eliminates him, it's like, oh my god, we didn't get Roman. Somebody else is main eventing WrestleMania. Well, fighting at WrestleMania for the title. The Royal Rumble, no. But it's there's so many good things that they can do. I think we should probably wrap. I know you gotta go, right?
Hold on. I'm looking up this really quick. When was this? It's about Roman, actually.
Oh. Rams center Brian Allen, the first NFL player to test positive. Sorry.
I looked up the comment about Stone Cold because it was bothering me that like I couldn't remember exactly what happened, and it's about turning heel. This is Stone Cold's deal. He said this was after the Backlash fight between Roman and Samoa Joe back in 2018. So what do you do with Roman Reigns at this point? For him to have the biggest run, you've got to turn him heel, and he's got to perform and let loose. He needs to be aggressive and go out there. This is what you wanted. This is what you get. I don't need your damn support. He needs to bring a mean streak and go on a heel turn. That is why everybody started hating Roman. Because it wasn't because they hated him, but because when Steve Austin made that point, because they kept that Roman was a face, and he still is. They never turned him heel, and it hasn't been a bad road, but it's not what it could have been.
A heel Roman Reigns would be fucking.
And that's why everybody started booing him.
Think about
because they wanted Vince to turn him fucking heel, so they could get him up there.
Think about last year. Seth Rollins turned back to babyface. So him and Roman go on their little run. They do the Shield reunion.
Can you imagine if Roman was the fucking one?
Yes.
If the Roman was the one that turned heel, the fuck that?
Babyface Seth Rollins versus heel Roman. Oh my god, it would be so good.
Like,
but no. Instead, they turn Seth Rollins heel.
Yeah.
Only like they also call him Jesus.
That was bothering me. I was like, that's why they started hating Roman. It's not because they hated him, but because they didn't want his career to turn into a shit show because they wouldn't turn him heel. So they did
to be John Cena.
The fans did everything in their power to get him to turn heel.
Heel Cena.
And so they booed the fuck out of Roman. And Vince said, "No, I'm not giving you what you want."
Ruthless aggression heel Cena would have been great.
I think if you have Cena, I don't know if you would count him as heel, but at the same time he acted it even though he wasn't. If you let Cena have the attitude that he had when the whole Nexus thing was happening, I think that would have set up a lot of good fucking things like for the future. Like if you just kept that going, like I think it could have set up a lot of stuff. But I imagine we're going to see more. I know we're getting ready. I imagine we're going to see more cuts and let goes releases, stuff like that. I don't know who. I'm afraid it's going to be a name that I actually like really care for. And I'm sure we're going to get one or two of those. But I don't know. We'll see.
Ooh, okay. Trending right now. Oh, Pro Football Focus. Put out a tweet. I want to get your opinion. Game on the line, one play, balls in the air. Richard Sherman or Randy Moss?
Randy Moss.
No doubt, right?
How do you not pick Randy? Vikings, Patriots, I don't care what Randy you put out there. It's Randy Moss all day, every day.
I'm looking. I don't know if anybody's actually said.
Richard. Don't get me wrong, Richard Sherman's
No,
good.
he's great.
But
oh yeah, I love this reply. Randy's running straight past his slow ass. Yeah, because Randy made fast guys look not fast. Like Randy just goes.
Randy he was a different player, man.
Yep, Richard Sherman is an amazing DB, Hall of Famer. But prime Randy is looking at him, then looking at Dante Culpepper and throwing up that "I'm open" index finger on the line of scrimmage before the ball is snapped. The amount of times Randy did that was actually nuts. Where if you paid attention, depending on how the defense was lined up, Randy would look over at Dante, hold up one finger. That's just, I'm open. You're not looking anywhere else, throw it to me. Which is the most wild fucking thing. He could just be like, I'm open. Play hasn't even started. Yeah, but I'm open. Like, fuck. Oh,
I had a question you would know.
WWE Performance Center coaches Serena Deeb, Kendo Kashima.
Wow, that's crazy.
Sorry, I needed.
Question. This is NFL related. It was a few years back because you brought up. I don't know why it brought this up. DeAndre Hopkins. Was he the one who actually broke? Was it? It wasn't Josh Norman's ankle. Who was
D'Angelo
it?
Hall.
D'Angelo Hall.
He tore his ACL or Achilles. It was the greatest thing ever.
Was it Hopkins who did that in that video? Because it was during Hard Knocks, was it not? During the spring training.
It was a scrimmage or
the
whatever.
Joint practice.
And
yeah.
D'Angelo Hall's fucking
was talking mouth. Yeah. And he broke his ankle. He tore all his shit.
And it wasn't even like a hard route either.
It was a simple cut.
And I love the ending. Because DeAndre's just looking at the camera like, I don't start shit. I just finish it.
I just finish it, yes. I don't know what brought that up, but I was just like, wait.
And that guy plays for the Cardinals now.
Yep.
Fucking Texans. Billy O'Stooge. We're ending it by saying Billy O'Stooge is Billy
O'Stooge. All right. Yeah, I agree. That should end it.
All right. Thank you all for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.
Bye, guys.